Hey everybody, welcome back. Pigskin on 10, week 2 now of the high school football season, and we're starting to get a feel for things and how they may shape up in this 2013 season. Jacob Albracht alongside Lance Lahnert of the Amarillo Globe News, and Lance, glad to have you in again as we muddle our way through. We're in a little bit of district play, but mostly it's still teams preparing for the big portion of their season.
Exactly, Jacob. Week 1 is all about excitement. Week 2 is improving. Week 3, you kind of finally figure out how you're going to be for the rest of the year.
We want to go through a few of our matchups for this week, and we'll kind of go down to some smaller schools this week. Canadian and Perryton one we're really excited about. It's a regional rivalry, certainly. Canadian coming off of a loss to Stratford that, you know, maybe we should stop being surprised at the Stratford Elks because this is just what they do. Congratulations to them. But now Canadian looking to make a statement. They get Perryton in the same boat, 0-2, maybe the best 0-2 team in the area. This one could be very, very interesting.
Oh, yeah, this is a great matchup. Like you said, Jacob, Chris Ketting and the Canadian Wildcats have to rebound from an emotional loss, but Perryton's kind of a rivalry game up there. You just drive up the road, and it's a nice farm-to-market road, but there's nothing in between them, basically. So very interesting matchup. Plus, Perryton's coming off the Flowers Bowl, a loss there. So you have two emotional teams, and they need to come back down and play some good football this week.
And we'll see what happens in that one. That one of our pick'em games, by the way, newschannel10wrapup.com. You can see what we're doing. You're in first place.
I heard that. I think I'm tied, so let's leave it at that.
Well, that's all right. And I'm tied for second place, but I'm also tied for last place.
Hey, real quick, Jacob, on Perryton, real quick, defensive end Jaron Garber. If you go to a game, check him out. Okay, yeah. Okay. He's really entertaining to watch. So just a little hint there.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
But appreciate the shout on being first.
Yeah, that's all right. There'll be a lot of great players in that game and a lot of, prospect-type players. Dalhart and Bushland, the Golden Wolves, right now look like they may be the leg up in that District 3A district from around the area. Bushland came back and got a big win over Perryton last week. We just talked about the Rangers. This one could be interesting. Clash of styles a little bit. Bushland airs it out. Dalhart runs it right down your throat. I like this matchup. I'm interested to see this one.
Yeah, it's a great matchup. Stephen Young, the coach at Dalhart, has done a great job. He's been there 8 years now. Former Paladuro assistant defensive coordinator, like you just said. So what they are is about defense. And then obviously Bushland with their great quarterback, Taylor Cornelius, 6'5". Talk about going and watch a talented player play. He will play on Saturdays, so catch him here in the Panhandle. Let me just say this. It is a matchup of interesting, pass versus run, and we'll see. But I think the defenses will decide this one, Jacob. I really do.
Do we take anything from Bushland's loss to Borger? Because Borger can run it, Dalhart runs it. Does the Falcons, now obviously they've faced a run attack like that. Does that help them? Does that hurt them?
I agree that we have to take something back from that simply for the fact that Dalhart that's what they do best. So I'm sure Bushland's worked on that over 2 weeks. So that first game, you never know kind of what your defense is about. Real quick, it's 9/11 week, emotional week for everybody. Up at Dalhart, they have the coolest thing. If you're going to this game, they honor their fallen heroes with plaques as you walk into the stadium. You can see those names very well displayed. So a real shout out to Dalhart for doing that.
Outstanding, and it's a beautiful new stadium. If you're into all these new stadiums, Dalhart's got one of the top in the Panhandle. Canyon and Plainview. Now as we jump back up to 4A, the Canyon Eagles, we thought maybe the class of the district just because they returned more than everybody else, at least some of the big names. They look like they're backing that up so far, and now they get Plainview, who struggled. Canyon could come into district play with a bunch of wins, and they look very sharp. They
look great. Scored 99 points, almost averaging 50 a game in 2 games. Last week, Blake Weaver, Jacob, you can respect this, 15 of 16 against Pampa. That's tough to do against the air. I don't care if there's no defense when you're just doing drills. So they are really well stocked at quarterback in Blake Weaver. And then Dylan Douglas, their great linebacker. They've got a little bit of everything. Plainview, just for a little tidbit here, is coached by Ryan Rhodes, former Tascosa Rebel, former WT football assistant, this is his first chance at a big-time job. So they were up on Paladuro last week, 13-0.5, and lost that one 14-13. So they're hungry to close out a game. Great matchup in Kimbrough.
Your guys have seen Canyon's games beginning to end. Do we think they're as good defensively as they are offensively right now?
I think you can say that, actually. Okay. And that's been their big difference from maybe 2 years ago. Blake Bryant also has become a more physical coach the last 2 years. However, that's happened, and they really like to try to run the ball first. All the touchdowns in that blowout against Pampa were on the run.
Friday night will be another wild one. Week 2 of the high school football season. PigskinReview.com, NewsChannel10Wrapup.com. You can catch the highlights and the scores with us and the post-game reports with Lance and those guys Saturday morning. A lot of busy stuff for us. Don't forget, too, Groover and Sunray, our game of the week. Log on and vote on that one. That one should be a lot of fun down in the smaller school ranks. We will see you next week. For Lance Lahnert, I'm Jacob Albracht. This has been Pigskin on 10 for Week 2 of the high school football season.